Okay, so I had a visualization that I wanted to share with everyone today. It came a little bit out of yesterday's meditation when Kevin asked Killian, who's originally from Ireland, how things were going back home for his family. And it was really interesting because Killian talked about his elderly mum and how in Ireland the way they've talked about this period of time is that they've encouraged the elderly to go into their cocoon. And it just really got me thinking, and I just loved that phrase so much. And I started to think that perhaps we also could start to change our mindset a little bit. And instead of using the word lockdown, maybe we could start to use the word cocoon. And I was thinking about how different those two words are and how conceptually I think if we were to start to think about ourselves being in a cocoon rather than in lockdown, what would that do for our minds, and what would that do for our soul almost? How would we start to think differently, and how would we start to feel differently if we saw this time of isolation as being in a cocoon? And it got me to thinking about a number of concepts around a cocoon. The shell of the cocoon is a protective thing from the outside forces, which is true of our experience right now, and it's also what goes on inside the cocoon is a metamorphosizing, or maybe that's not quite a word, but there's a process of change that goes on inside the cocoon, and it's a really positive, transformative change that happens. And I was thinking about there's a short verse in the Bible which says that that we should be transformed by the renewing of our mind. And I was thinking about that, and in the Greek the word transformed is the word metamorphos or metamorphosis. It's the process of being transformed. And so I was like, yeah, what if we all of us started to think about and start processing this idea of what is the transformation that's taking place in each one of us as we are cocooned in this time of our lives? What is being transformed, and what are we holding on to and refusing to allow to be transformed by this experience of being being in this space? So it was just an interesting kind of thought, and so I just wanted to encourage us all to stop using the word lockdown and isolation, and start thinking about being cocooned and what it is that's being transformed within us as we go through this period of history. So that's my little encouragement to us all today.